Hello, everybody. It's Mark Maxwell, and once again here on the Legends series that we have with legendary guitarist, vocalist, entertainer, Wayne Young. How are you, Wayne?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm really good. This is a new series that we've started, and I think it's important for the people out there to know, especially music in this community and around here, just how important certain people are and have been for me and for everybody who plays music. And you're one of those people. We call it legends because you really are. If you think about where you came from and what you did and how much you've done in your life, you know, you started something back when the Beatles were playing and when the Stones were playing. And so rock and roll in this town was kind of brought to town by you. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
And Marvin and Dennis
Sure.
Ledford and all these, legendary people to me. So you're one of those. Question for you. Couple things. Wayne, first band?
Of note was Soul Incorporated, but actually the first group was Chuck Harrod was the first one I had a record with.
Really?
Yeah.
Chuck Harry.
Chuck Harrod.
Harrod. I'd never even heard of him. I don't know
Oh,
who this
Chuck Harrod and the Anteaters.
is. It real? Was it really? So that was your first band,
Yeah.
and then it was Soul Incorporated,
Yeah.
and then pretty much Alicia
Midnight Special.
Midnight Special started and when.
75.
So Midnight Special was the band that I, of course, wanted to be in all my life. I watched you guys, and it was one of the best productions of a show. If you never got to see them, you really totally missed it. But it was an amazing concept show. The band was great. It was funny. It was rock and roll.
The idea was Midnight Special was a takeoff on the TV show. So we do all these medleys of different acts, sort of like somebody on the actual show.
Yes.
And so you string all these together, and it did make for some entertaining music.
No doubt. I remember you guys doing like the Bob Seger medley, all these killer medleys, which I thought was amazing. Matter of fact, I gotta be honest with you, I've stolen a lot of what you did. So anyway, so you played with Midnight Special till about when? When was that?
83.
Okay. And then since that point, you did the Shuffling Granddads
Yeah,
and your solo career.
correct.
Which you're still doing to this day, your
Yeah.
solo career. And in the midst of that, Eric Clapton tribute.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It was sort of like Midnight Special, except it was on one artist.
Right.
So you take and sometimes I do medleys, but most of the time just do the best job I could on whatever songs I picked out that day.
That's awesome. Yeah, so if you get a chance to see Wayne Young perform, he's a great guitar player and singer, and again, one of the reasons that this town has rock and roll to this day. I really do believe that you guys are the guys who carried it first, right?
We were there.
And I've heard a lot of stories, which I won't get into, but I will ask you this. I will ask you this real quick. Who gave you your first guitar? How'd that happen?
I was actually playing country music when I was a kid, 7 or so, so my dad helped me get a guitar.
Did he play?
A little,
Yeah.
not enough to get on stage, but
Do you remember what that guitar was that you had?
what's some of the real cheap guitars?
The Stella, maybe?
Stella, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was probably it.
Probably a Stella, or what was that other one? We've got several of them hanging out there on that wall out there.
National.
Yeah.
Oh, and
The Sears and Roebuck one was, yeah. Anyway, it's out of my head right this very second. For the most part, and I'll say this because lots of people ask about this too, gear-wise, I remember that you played a Strat and a Les Paul back in the day.
Yep.
You play a Strat today.
Yes.
And in between, you played a lot of Yamahas too.
Yeah. Pacificus
Right.
and Before that was the T60 Peavies,
Oh, that's right. Oh, those things were heavy.
but they had a sound.
They did. They certainly did. You used Marshalls mostly. You went to Fender for a little bit, and now you're back to Marshall amplifiers.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, I like the sound, but this little Marshall I've got now has got the sound of the big amp,
Right.
but it's small.
Small package. Yeah.
And then it's got some unique tones on the clean tones
That Marshall never had.
well, our Fender never had.
Right. There you go.
So
Wow.
it's good.
It's killer. All right. So Wayne, anything, if you, the people in this town that that you've played with in the past, and the cool thing is that you've played with a lot of great people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big key to my career, is to find the best players I can find and play with them.
And I did the same thing because of you. You told me that 35 years ago. Put the best people around you, really, to lift you up to another point.
They do that.
And so I did the exact same thing, and it was fantastic. But anyway, this is Wayne Young. You should definitely check him out. You have some CDs out for sale too, right?
Sure.
All right. Got a couple of different ones, I think.
The last one was Fergie.
Yeah.
It's a tribute to Steve Ferguson.
Wow.
And then I've got a bunch of even youngsters
Yes.
CDs.
Wow. Hey, if you want to bring them over here, we're setting up a whole shop here of CDs and merch from any band that's out there. So if you bring some,
Yeah, I can do that.
we'll sell them for you.
Good.
So we're trying to make a whole local corner, we call it.
Oh,
So ought to be a good thing. Anyway, this is Wayne Young. He's a legend. And you want to say anything at all?
in my own mind.
And in mine too, and many other people out there. We jammed the other night together, and you could tell the appreciation in the room just for you. You know what I'm saying?
For both of us.
Well, for you though, it was like thick in that room, and it was just like, it was so awesome to, one, I got to sing with you, which was a great moment for me, and I got to sing a song that when I was a kid I remember listening to. It was just so strange for me, but anyway, I thank you.
You're
You're a
welcome.
great man. You've inspired me, and I know lots of other people in this town, so just thanks for being the legend you are.
Thank you.
There you go.